You guys didn't notice, like, Hispanics are just way more popping. Like, Cardi B, Chrisean, come on.
I guess I'm just wondering why any sane man, especially a married, famous, rich man, would mess with Chrisean Rock at this point.
Blueface went online and made this wild allegation that went viral that said that you and Offset had slept together behind Cardi's back. You haven't talked about it. Cardi hasn't talked about it.
She responded and said she didn't know if it was true or not, and she said that's me and him is broken up. That's what she said.
Right.
Where the mayhem never ends. Today's tea is more intriguing than ever because Blueface accused Chrisean Rock of having an affair with Offset in December of last year when he went online. At the time, it was widely assumed that Blueface was merely acting like his usual chaotic self and fabricating drama to get hits. It is now rumored, though, that there might have been more truth to that turbulence than people were prepared to admit. In light of recent conversations, Chrisean has started revealing more about what really went down. According to the rumors, she didn't do it for fun. It is said that she did it to get even with Cardi B. You are correct. Chrissy allegedly attempted to intentionally stir up trouble. In Cardi's surroundings, the story is ridiculous, yet it has the internet going crazy. This is where it gets even more juicy. The whole thing went wrong because Chrisean's former closest buddy Jana spilled the tea. While doing a live broadcast, Jana claims that Chrisean told her everything. Furthermore, it was stated that she and Offset had a sexual encounter in the home where he and Cardi currently reside. Just because of that one feature, people were clutching their pearls. It doesn't stop there either. Chrisean claimed that she purposefully left a ring behind in the hopes that Cardi would eventually find it and misplace it, as reported by Jana. That would be so petty regarding followers with so little information. It was easy to determine that a retaliatory strategy had been in place from the beginning. When this came out again, the internet, of course, went bananas. The story sounded like cloud chasing, and others immediately thought that Jana was just trying to stay relevant by bringing up her old best buddy instead. Some believe that it proves Blueface's accusations and that Johnny and Blueface would never have stated the same thing if it were untrue.
You guys didn't notice, like, Hispanics are just way more popping. Like, Cardi B, Chrisean, come on. And then you was a home wrecker, so it's like, you try to home wreck Cardi B shit because you want to be like her. So it's like, what did you say? You left your earring or your ring on purpose so Cardi could see it? Oh yeah, that's when I went all out. That's when I was like, we committing adultery now? Oh girl, that's not God. That's how I knew how to cut people off.
Online users initially criticized Jana as a jealous ex-friend who was frantically trying to gain power by incorporating Cardi B. She was accused of utilizing Chrisean's name only to stay relevant and cause trouble. Jana was depicted in the cruel timeline as a bitter individual who couldn't stand to see her old friend flourish. Things took a surprising turn, though. When Blueface himself came in and co-signed the mess, he abruptly blurted out a now-deleted tweet, which escalated the situation tenfold. He attacked Chrissy in the tweet, saying, "Being tatted on somebody ain't no flex. In fact, you slept in the bed with a few weeks ago, Cardi B's husband. It's becoming tiresome to me when guys stare at me while they play with you. Kindly dispose of the rest of them as soon as you can." Fans needed only one message to solve the mystery. When he accused her of seeing Offset, he was quite explicit. This tweet was made right after Chrisean got a tattoo of Blueface's face. For context, he mistook it for a sign of loyalty, but instead saw it as proof that she was playing both sides, allegedly spending a minute after getting inked with other men. That inconsistency was blowing up the blogs. Chrisean, of course, refused to take a back seat and let Blueface and Jana tell the tale. She went online to reply nearly immediately. In addition to refuting some of the account's details, she flipped the script by adding her own charges into it. Suddenly, it wasn't just about her and Offset anymore. She was blaming Blueface for the situation and accused him of being the real antagonist. Fans were left perplexed as they attempted to determine whom to believe. On one side, Blueface and Jana seemed to endorse each other's stories. Moreover, Chrisean was vehemently disputing that she was being dragged unjustly. Everyone is glued to their screens for the entertainment factor. But the entire situation turned into one of those ugliness-filled online dramas, where lies and reality coexist. Blueface's accusations would not be accepted by Chrissy. In response, she made some of her own ludicrous claims right away. In a furious message, she applauded at him and said, "She dubbed you because you were over there trying to crack an L.E. Choppa's baby mama. You don't have our Z, buddy. Let's talk about how your most recent search brought me to God videos. That's the real reason I bought the cover up, bro. I had a lively man on my neck. There's nothing wrong with tell a girl and she won't fall in love at that point. The internet went into overdrive since Chrisean was basically flipping the script on him and highlighting the fact that he was a real phony in their relationship. She accused him of lying and then lambasted him for still calling her behind the scenes to ask about her relationship with Offset. That showed her that he was obsessed with the fiction you wrote. As an alternative, Blueface doubled down even more in a jaw-dropping reaction. Therefore, you haven't ruined Card's spouse. It happened on November 10th around 4 a.m. at home. In Los Angeles, I'm making this up now. He revived the entire dispute by adding a date, time, and even a location to the charge. Given that his marriage to Cardi was already in doubt and that a headline like this may make matters worse, Offset had to intervene at this point. I have never spoken to or touched that woman, he said online, quickly recording everything, man. You're talking seriously. And again, you need help. His strong denial caused a rift on the internet. Half of the population agreed with his assertions, and it was a puzzle to the other half why Blueface seemed so certain about details. However, Blueface had not finished yet. Despite his evident pain, he was determined to present his case. He dispatched one last message, addressed to Offset in particular: if the truth makes you feel ashamed, then your life is a disgrace. I will always be honest about who I am. So I feel bad for you. I will admit if I hid it. Blueface left supporters feeling disturbed since he appeared to have no reason to lie. But he also offered no proof to back up that assertion. Cardi B was quietly working toward her own objectives in the meanwhile. Supporters soon discovered that on Instagram, she unfollowed Offset prior to the enigmatic messages. In one of her updates, it seemed as though she was mocking her husband, suggesting that she was tired of carrying his burden. The timing had a purpose, and people immediately connected it to the continuing Offset, Chrissy, and Blueface triangle. All three identities were now fully submerged in the drama. Chrissy threw shots. Offset denied everything. Blueface claimed to have receipts, and Cardi implied that she had officially hit her breaking point. Interview
to find out because I've been single for a minute now, but I have been afraid to I'm not afraid, I just don't know how to tell the world. But I feel like today has been a sign. The last time I got on live, I kind of wanted you guys to tell you. I kind of wanted to tell you guys, but I didn't know how to tell you. So I was I changed my mind. But it has been like this for a minute now, and I just took it as a sign. So I wanna start 2024 fresh, open. I don't know, I'm curious for a new life, for a new beginning. And yeah, I'm excited.
Moreover, the fire was just cooling down when Wack 100 had to return and stir the pot again. During a sit-down on Vlad TV, Wack revived one of his previous tweets that his fans had all but forgotten. The timing, however, couldn't have been better. Wack dehumanized Offset by claiming in this tweet that he was incapable of distinguishing between a castle and a hut. Now, let's take a quick break. That's because Wack wasn't being direct. The shack was a clear jab at Chrisean Rock, he said, and Cardi B was a castle. Mostly, he was mocking Offset for allegedly abandoning a queen for someone Wack deemed unworthy of her status. Offset was being criticized by fans for not enjoying his home life. Therefore, the shade swiftly gained popularity again. Wack put in twice as much effort throughout the asserting during the interview that a man in Offset's position should be sufficiently aware to never entertain such a possibility. In addition to his wife, he suggested that Offset was putting his legacy, career, and reputation at risk in order to experience short-lived thrills. And whether you agree with Wack or not, his comments were important because they helped the world believe that Offset was cheating on Cardi, and that she deserved better.
And expose some information about Offset involving some of the drama with Cardi B.
Who?
You.
Oh, I kept the exposure from happening. I got phone calls from people outside of Offset. You gotta remember, I got relationships with people before my relationships with Offset. So I got Cardi called me her damn self.
Okay, because you had put up a post. You said, at Offset, little weird ass N-word, I told you keep me out your emotional shit. It's your fault. You don't know the difference between a castle and a shack. What does that mean?
Cardi B, Chrisean Rock.
Okay. You're lucky I respect sis. Right, get out the way and really let the exposure happen. Remember what you said.
Yeah, he's blaming me for what
Wack employed more than only Shaq's color versus castles. He made the controversy worse. He claimed that Offset called Blueface personally in an attempt to assign blame. For the whole incident, Offset's marriage was being destroyed by Blueface's awkward accusations. Wack said. Wack eventually ended up in the line of fire. The pressure Offset was under behind the scenes was evident from that chat alone. When a man starts pointing fingers, it usually means that the walls are closing in Blueface, on the other hand, was not going to rest. It's possible that he increased the volume. He would do whatever it took to drag Chrisean Rock through the muck. Additionally, if Cardi B's name was entangled, that's acceptable. Wasn't only about Chrisean being exposed as Blueface. The goal was to make the situation as untidy and visible as possible. What was wrong was that he wasn't just untidy around Chrisean. Cardi seemed to be a bystander in a feud that had little to do with her. Since every time Blueface said something, she was also in the press. Fans saw that Blueface's teasing was gradually wearing thin on Cardi. This added fuel to the rumors that her marriage to Offset was in danger.
he's blaming me for what Blueface is doing. I didn't agree with Blueface for what he did.
What did Blueface do?
Well, he posted, I don't know if it was text messages, pictures, I don't know what it was, right? Of Offset and Rock, Chrisean Rock, right? I wake up to it. I guess it's on Twitter somewhere. I don't be on Twitter, I don't know. My phone's going crazy, right? It's Offset. He's telling me, only thing I'm hearing is Blueface. I call Blueface, hey man, what is going on? He's flipping out, tripping out. And I'm like, what did you do? And he said, I welcome Offset to the circus. I said, well, what is that? And that's when he told me, he put up some text messages showing that whatever night French Montana had his party out there, I guess they hooked up, right?
Chrisean Rock hooked up with Offset.
Exactly, right? And I'm telling Blueface, nah, you can't. That ain't bro code. He said, I don't give a he want to be part of the circus, he part of the circus.
Things became even worse when Blueface was forced to admit that Cardi B herself had once played a significant role in his career. Her appearance on the remix of his song Brush Down, which helped make him famous, should not be disregarded. Proponents pointed out the irony. He had previously received assistance from Cardi, but now he was embroiled in a complicated scandal that was destroying her marriage. According to Blueface, Chrisean and Offset allegedly connected at French Montana's birthday party. Sources at the time claimed that Chrisean and Offset were also spotted chatting during the gathering. The same sources also claim that Chrisean was later seen leaving the scene with him, which is even more worrisome. Social media was ablaze with people drawing outrageously unlikely links between seemingly unrelated details after just that little tidbit. I should point out that none of this was ever officially confirmed. Without any tangible proof or receipts, there were only rumors, whispers, and numerous careless eyewitness accounts. However, given the date, everything appeared suspicious. Some are now claiming that this was not merely a rumor. It was said to have played a part in the already unstable marriage between Offset and Cardi. Shortly after these blog posts surfaced, Cardi's divorce was made public. Upon noticing the connection, several people conjectured that the debate surrounding Chrisean might have been the last straw.
Your obs. That's one for your obs. Yeah, of course, because you don't move with integrity. You're not a street. That's what you do. That's what you do. Oh, I'm gonna go for your obs. Good. Nigga, I don't give a fuck. You can fuck my obs, you fuck my friends, nigga. I don't give a shit. You're a lame to me, and you will never equate to me. And it's crazy that I even let you even play with me for such a long time. Because you're not even a real right to me. I make you look good. You. Look at the jumping. I don't care. Look at the I'm a fool your ups. Matter of fact, oh look at this. I don't want to see it. So what? You was gonna film anyways. All you gotta do is get me drunk, and I'm gonna throw you that pussy for 2,000. You gotta survive out here. Bitches gotta survive out here, nigga. Oh, now I'm with them. Now I'm with okay, you could do that. You was gonna do it regardless. You go to a club and you probably get drunk, you give them 2,000, you was gonna do it regardless. Them gotta survive.
These people were starting to give up when Blueface took things to a much darker level. In order to stop the allegations from spreading, he threatened Offset publicly and declared he was going to make an example of him. To remind Offset that he wasn't unbeatable, Blueface claimed he would have given him a little tap on the shoulder. That one comment alone sent shockwaves over social media, turning an untidy rumor into something that sounded like a street-level warning. Since merely spilling tea is not the same as publicly threatening someone, followers quickly accused Blueface of being careless. Others said that by pushing the line more and further, he was only trolling to keep up his trend. However, the tension was noticeable anyway. Offset was suggested to be a target in Blueface's personal conflict and a scandal seeker. The whole matter now appeared to be more than love issues. It included clout chasing, ego disputes, and dangerous talk. Cardi B's position in the middle of it only made things more stressful, which is rumored to have forced her to get a divorce.
Stand on what I said about Offset. Offset was mad about his wife, sent them threats. That's why. So you know, we had somebody just tap on his shoulder and let him know he's touchable. So you know, I'm not worried about Offset no more. That's why. That's why Wack posted what he posted. Yeah, alright. I'm the big bad wolf, schoolyard crip. Yeah, homies. Welcome to the circus, kid.
About a year ago, when this topic first came to light, the internet was in a frenzy. In interviews, Offset, Chrissy, and Rock were all out there denying all of the accusations, making statements and clapping back, but it was hard to tell who was telling the truth and who was just stirring things up. It was one of those situations where every denial created fresh questions. According to the proverb, what is done in the dark will eventually find its way to the light. Based on the latest rumors, Chrisean is starting to inform the Globe. Sources claim that she has privately admitted to hooking up with Offset. She apparently revealed that the motivation was not romance or even attraction, but retaliation. According to reports, she planned to strike Cardi B where it hurt with an Offset. In an effort to understand that shocking statement, fans are wondering what Cardi might have done to motivate Chrisean to go that far. It seems no one has discovered that yet.